off to not want to get a job because they trying to put you in jail for any little thing, unless they can make money off it. You know?
True, true, true. I mean, Coldcraft is the biggest supplier of all their,
Commissaries?
not even commissary, just everything in general as far as
Like
the
lockers, the
Furniture,
beds,
everything.
all types of furniture, yeah.
And all the uniforms and everything. Everything is just one company.
And they'll have you making it. They'll have you making it. The guys in jail making it for $5 a month.
Yeah.
And they get all the money.
Yeah.
True, that's just crazy. But going back to what she was saying, that because I heard the story and I read the story and I knew the story before then. It's not like you were just like working there. You were doing your thing there, and then they was like mad at you just because you came in and it seemed like you kind of took over and you would like
The man,
outshining
basically.
everybody else who was in there. It was like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? And it seems like at that point when they, that person overheard a conversation that they were supposed to, that's when, jealousy and envy took over, and then that's when they started talking about it.
But Peter, do you feel like if that guy didn't snitch, that would have been a life for you, like working at the phone company? Like, do you feel like that could have been you?
Well, I mean, if I stayed up to now, I've been making triple figures and crazy money because I would probably be the manager. But what it was, I've been blessed because anything I do, I stand out, and even going back to when we was young and doing things, guys was older than me, but they always looked to me for leadership. So when I was in the phone company, you had the guy was gay, the guy that was the supervisor, and his part of his setup, the people didn't really want to deal with him, so they would come to me and ask me questions. Now they've been working there longer than me, but I knew about computers and all that and how to help them. So I was doing that, and he got a little bit jealous and stuff over that, and but it was my fault too. If you read the book, because I was too lazy. I was calling my parole officer from my desk. I should have went and used the public. We had these, little rooms you go in there and relax on your breaks, and I could have used the phones in there. But I was so lazy. I got in there, talked to my PO, and he overheard the conversation because he was listening to my conversation. That's when everything went downhill. But right now, it might have been, it's God's destiny. Whatever you do in life is God's destiny. So sometimes you may look at it and say, damn, why me? Or what's going on? And why I'm going through so much. But if you read the book of Job, you see that your comparison is never as serious as what Job went through. You see what I'm saying? So I deal with anything that comes at me. And the only thing I believe in is what happens to us, we don't blame nobody else. We take it to our grave. So I don't tell on nobody.
That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. As far as you feel like you were shining, but that's just the person that you are. I mean, that's to go back to something that what Eric Nick said. You're one of those people who just have a natural charisma about you, and you light up the room, and people just want to gravitate towards you. So, of course, there's going to be always a problem for those who are trying to do something and they feel like you're taking all the shine. It's not your fault per se. It's just that that's who you are. You come into the room and people just want to gravitate towards you. So, it's a sad situation, but it's something that you really can't control.
You know what? I want to go back. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let's go back before '84, before Comstock. During the stick-up era, was it ever a thing where you and your crew, did you ever think about maybe the bad karma that would come back, or it was just all about supplying the habit and just getting that bread?
Well, at the time, I didn't care because I was, you guys tell me the same question because we all in the same game. But I didn't care about, what's going to happen later on, because we just want to get that coke.
Right.
We get sniffed. So, you gotta know in the back of your mind that you can get arrested, you can get killed, you can get robbed. So,
right.
Anything you do illegal. So we didn't care at the time because I was too high to even care about that. I just want to get my stuff and go to disco view and Hilltop and all the places to hang out and get the girls. So, you not got to know stuff can happen, but you don't really care at that time.
Did Terry even once say at all, like, yo, we need to just chill? Or he was just down also?
It was all about the high life and the glory back then.
And that was it.
Enjoy life on life terms.
Uh-huh.
What comes, come what may.
Mhm.
We'll deal with it.
So, with that said though, and you look at like the youngins of our day, do you also look at them as having that same attitude that you guys had back then?
Well, I think it's worse now because, they doing some outrageous things, and, they killing each other over stupid things, and the drugs they're using now is very, very serious because it's really affecting their health. And like that K2 out there, these things cause heart attacks immediately. So they, we just had somebody we know pass away from a heart attack, and I think they was using K2. But the whole thing is, the thing is now the children today was never taught religion. A lot of them is not. It's just being pushed in the street and not being taught religion because I don't care what religion you under. Your religion's going to teach you about love and respect and stuff like that. So when you go outside, you're going to have second thoughts about just taking somebody's life off the top if it ain't something serious. Business, they put harm to you or your friends or whatever. But these people just kill. What you looking at and kill them.
But remember, and part of that is the school's fault, the school system, because they took religions out of the school.
Yeah, the school system is always been bad. So I don't really want to comment on the school system because
Right.
the school systems, you see what's going on. Teachers molesting people, ladies trying to get with 14-year-old guys, and
But wait, that's not such a bad thing. Depends on how the teachers look. I'm just saying.
Depends on how what situation you're in. But the bottom line is right. The thing is, children not being taught. Like the parents need to take their kids back into the house and educate them on love and respect and giving life, because you get more out of. Just try this one day. I'm talking about the young guys out in the street. You get more, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I lived the life.
Right.
But I'm telling you, just try this. Help with the old lady up the steps. Feed somebody, that's on the street that's hungry. Buy them a hamburger or something. You'll feel so good that day, rather than going to shoot somebody in the head and go back in the house.
Now during the stick-up reign, you lost 6 of your friends who were down with you.
It could have been more. I just named a few, but yeah, we lost a few people.
Why did Earl's death hit you like the hardest?
Because he was. Go
It's
ahead.
family. It's close to us.
Mm-hmm.
Something that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
We're there all for one and one for all.
True.
Well, all the deaths we had really bothered us, but I guess Earl was closer to us. He was the closest one to us, so
Mhm.
that's what really bothered us. And especially we take blame on things like that ourselves. So it's death is even though we don't know where we're going, it might be a better place. As an individual watching from the outside, death is very detrimental to you. You really feel that for a while, and to this day, me and him don't like to go to funerals, but we go. We lost some guys that played basketball with us in college and stuff. We still go, but it still bothers us to go. But and because it brings out a lot of emotions, because you miss them people. And I was locked up for 21 years, so some of the guys that just went, I didn't see in 21 years, and then they passed away from me. I haven't seen them until I saw them in their caskets.
Damn.
It's all about respect.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the difference in the kids today and the way we were.
But they say that about every era, though. Every era they say, oh, you kids don't have respect. We grew up differently.
We looked out for our neighborhoods, the older people.
True.
People we didn't know. If you had a handicap or something like that, we look out for people.
Yeah.
It's called karma too.
Pretty much.
What you do comes back to you.
Oh, if not, it hits your kids. It hits somebody.
So, a minute ago, Peter talked about, the parents like really bringing the kids home and really like showing them and like really raising them. But my question to you is like, does the home like code contradict with the street code? Like, how does a child today compete or pick which code to live by? Because when you're home, but when you're in the street, and when I read in a book, there's like a code, and it's like you have to respect that code.
Yeah, because your mom, she really didn't know.
That's a very good question.
What you was
And
doing.
That's a very good question. Excellent question. But see, I was blessed, and Terry was blessed because we're from the streets. So
Right.
see, certain parents, yeah, they can't teach them this because they wasn't in the street. They don't know about the street. But we knew about the street and the working class. So we knew both. So like I tell my kids now, you know, I don't care what you'll do because I can't be a hypocrite and tell you not to do nothing. But I say the bottom line is if you get caught for doing anything, don't tell. That's the bottom line. I don't want you selling drugs. I don't want you doing anything that's going to put you behind bars because it's going to hurt you. But I have my life. You have your life. See, you got to treat your kids now today because that's why my kids confide in me rather than confide in their mothers, because they know that I'm not going to be like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to give them that. I'm going to give them what I went through and give them what I perceive they're going to go through and give them the solution to what their problems is. I'm not going to chastise them because I'll be a hypocrite then because I did everything. But that's what the parent had to do now. The parent can't be try to lock them in, come in the house at 6 o'clock, come in this, because that's going to give them that little inch. When they get that little freedom, the girls, the first thing you know, I'm pregnant. The guys, first thing you know, I just shot somebody, robbed somebody. You can't teach your kids like that. You got to teach your kids what it is. Too many parents try to teach them the Cinderella word. You have to teach your kids what it is, the reality of what the world is.
Yes.
And the parents that don't know what's going on out there, what they really do need is to go and talk to somebody that do know so they can help them get their children on the right path.
But what about the kids that say, I don't want to hear that. Come on, old man, get out of here. Because, you know, they look down on us like we're the old people. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Well, that's because, you know, they don't know who he is and they don't know the life that he lived. And, you know what I'm saying, once they find out from other people that they know in the street, they be like, what? You talking about this guy? Like, that's a legend.
But what if they do know? And it's like, that was his era, yeah.
'cause
Well,
the time
We're
they-
different.
See, but the whole thing is that I feel that, you know, if he's here this long, take it for what it's worth. And he's got something to say as far as how everything came down. And if you know the story of his life and how everything played out, you know, like, okay, it could have went a totally different way.
Mhm.
So you got to look at it like, I got something to tell you, you know what I'm saying? It still relates because the streets are still the streets.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The streets, it's if anything, has gotten worse. So
Tell us about Comstock. How was that 4-year stretch? Was it easy?
I mean-
No big deal?
I was in a few jails, but the whole thing is, you know, being in jail, period, you have to adjust. You know, the state jails, although we was misled back in the day that they was worse than the federal. Federal was the best jails. No, the states is better. Don't get it twisted.
I always
A lot of
heard it
people
was
think
federal.
The federal is trash. The states you get 35 pounds of from your family can send you. This
Mhm.
was back in the day.
Right.
We used to get sweatsuits, anything we want sent to us.
Right.
You know, the feds, you don't get none of that.
Mhm.
You get a TV in the state, you don't get none of that. We had, you know, they got MP3s and all that in the feds and stuff now, but back in the day, the state was better. And to this day, people will tell you state is better where it comes to things that you could live comfortably with, you know, but the feds is where everybody want to go because they think that's the big time. But, you know, you got a lot of, you know, petty guys coming to the feds now. They got petty cases because the feds took over. It started when the feds had a one day they call Fed Day. I don't know how old you are and remember these, but
I've heard of
they had
it.
a one day Fed Day when if you got busted on that Tuesday, you go into the feds regardless of what you did because the state was overcrowded.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it started one day. So they started investigating by Tuesday. So everybody in the street was like, yo, don't sell drugs on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they got knocked off. Now the feds were giving up more time too, so you
Mhm.
know that part. So then it was going so good they tried Tuesday and Thursday. So then we got so good the feds just took over everything. That's why only crackheads was going to the state. They was grabbing every case and put it in the feds, which is why guys is in jail during all this time and hopefully that, you know, with these new laws coming out, this is going to stop.
Right.
But they gave, you know, low, you know, the lower total poll of drug dealers was getting 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
They're not even doing nothing. They're giving them all this time, you know, and guys that was just, I'm not gonna think regular drug dealers out. They was probably the boss, but they wasn't moving like that. They
Right.
wasn't like no cartel because the drugs laws was made to get the cartels, the conspiracy stuff. They giving these guys life, what they would give Escobar on them. They was giving these dudes. I know guys that just was drug dealers, maybe move 4 keys a week, 5 keys a week. It's getting life.
But that was sending the stupid message if they were trying to send a message, because the cartels are just going to hire new people.
They locked everybody up. They was just trying to, conspiracy. When they came out with that conspiracy theory and let the hearsay in, because now I can come to jail and say, go to court and say, yeah, Obama sold me 10 keys a week, and they'll indict him.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Because of these lies, and that's how I got it. I had no drugs.
Mhm.
It's people lying on me, telling
course.
me. See what I'm saying? So, the thing is, the laws they made backfired on them, and the laws that should be made, drug dealers shouldn't be the highest time that you get, when you get in trouble. Child molesters, rapists, serial killers, all that should get more.
Mhm.
How you gonna give a rapist and a child molester gets less time than a drug dealer?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world, because there's people smarter than me, but 1 and 1 is 2.
Yeah.
So how do you explain that to somebody that just sold drugs on the street, getting light, where a child molester, serial rapist, manslaughter, 5 years? I can't see it. Now in jails, now they got these pedophiles in there, and they've been treated better than the regular guys in jail. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just came home on October 30th. So if you touch one of them, it's like touching President Obama.
Mhm.
And these guys is running around bragging that when I get home, I'm gonna play with another little kid.
What about
I mean,
you, Terry? You ever did time?
Yeah, I did that before.
Okay.
So that's the thing. It irritates me, it eats me up, because I slapped a couple of them up. I didn't care.
Yeah.
You gonna do what you want to me, but I'm not gonna let these pedophiles be bragging about what they did to these kids.
I probably would have done the
Stuff like
same
that,
thing, man.
So I'm me. So I just take the anytime I do something, I take the consequences. And like I said, I don't tell nobody. So when I was hearing these pedophiles talk about they did this and they did that, and I don't care. I go home. Because one dude said that. He said, I don't care. I'm gonna go home and get me another little boy. I went right in there and slapped the daylights out of him.
It's fucking
You know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
man.
Because my thing is this, you got to know you was wrong for doing that, playing with them kids. That's a sickness. And for you to say that, and you only got a couple of years in jail, that pisses me off, because I did 21 years.
Right.
So I want to ask you, I see you have the fashion wear and the hat and the shirt, and it says YTEL.
Well, YTEL says it all, and my friend Lefty, I give a shout out to Lefty, because he's the one that put this together, and we're going to be partners soon on it. But